All right, next up, Jeremy Allen White, the Bear actor, will be taking a trip to a galaxy far, far away for his next big gig. Scoring a spot in the Star Wars universe. Variety.
What happens when the most anxious chef on television swaps stainless steel counters for starships? What if the man who turned Kitchen Panic into an Emmy suddenly finds himself voicing a fast-moving Hutt in the Star Wars universe?
And I think we wanted to do kind of the kitchen industry and service industry justice and make something that was honest and true to those folks, you know.
And what if Hollywood's most unexpected underdog just leveled up into one of the biggest franchises on Earth while also taking on a real-world tech drama at the same time? Yeah, we're talking about Jeremy Allen White, and yes, this story gets wild fast. It begins on a quiet studio lot long before trailers drop and internet theories explode. Jeremy is standing inside a performance capture stage, tiny white dots stuck to his face, suit zipped up, staring at a monitor that reflects not his exhausted chef expression, but a bulky alien figure with giant eyes and a surprisingly athletic frame.
It's the biggest challenge I've had yet. It's the most, it's the most kind of, I think, afraid I've been, at least in my work, approaching this story and the character of Bruce,
He remembers the moment Jon Favreau told him the role. He walked into that meeting thinking lightsaber, bounty hunter helmet, maybe Jedi with trauma and a questionable haircut. Instead, Favreau leaned back with a grin and said, "Rotta, Jabba's kid." And he runs. If you've followed Jeremy's career, you know this is exactly the kind of plot twist he attracts: chaotic, brilliant, slightly uncomfortable, and strangely perfect. For anyone out of the loop, Rotta originally appeared in the Clone Wars back in 2008, a shrieking slug baby whose main job was to be kidnapped and cause galactic panic. Now, in the Mandalorian and Grogu film arriving 2026, Rotta is grown up, redesigned, and apparently quick on his metaphorical feet. Somewhere in the universe, a Star Wars fan is still trying to process the phrase, "fast Hutt," and honestly, same. The internet didn't know whether to meme it or frame it, but one thing was certain. Jeremy Allen White stepping into this role immediately became one of the most intriguing Star Wars casting stories in years. Before any of this, Jeremy was the kid grinding through auditions, hoping someone would give him a chance. Chicago-born, relentless, quiet, fierce, that kind of energy you can't fake. Shameless gave him a foundation, but the Bear turned him into a household name. Funny thing is, playing Carmy wasn't glamorous. It was sweat, stress, breakdowns, self-doubt, and lots of yelling about risotto.
Talked to me about doing this film, and I was really excited to work with Scott, really excited about the idea of doing a film about Springsteen, a man I admired very much.
But audiences didn't see mess, they saw genius. They saw survival. They saw an actor who didn't just play pressure, but lived inside it. And Hollywood noticed. Then the video started changing. Phone calls shifted. Suddenly, this wasn't the guy auditioning for gritty drama number 7. He was someone being asked to redefine characters, not just act them. And when Favreau's team called, they didn't pitch him a cameo or a cool trooper helmet, they pitched him a challenge. Could Jeremy humanize a Hutt? Could he make audiences care about a creature famous for lounging, scheming, and occasionally throwing people into rancor pits? Could he give this galaxy something new without breaking it? Only someone with raw emotional energy and a streak of madness could pull that off.
We were talking about wigs and all this stuff, and then it just got so busy, and I was just like, okay, maybe the best route, is an internal one, and then we can see, what that does for us, externally, ultimately,
No coincidence Jeremy got the offer. The first time he saw the new Rotta model, he blinked twice. This thing wasn't just a slug, it was layered, expressive, calculating, and yes, way more athletic than biology should allow. It was Carmy energy trapped in space mafia royalty, and Jeremy just said, "All right, let's cook," not literally, but if you heard it in his voice, you'd believe it. He trained voice control like athletes train footwork. He studied physicality of creatures and human drama. He threw himself into it the same way he threw himself into the kitchen scenes: obsession first, rest later, sanity never guaranteed. That's the thing about Jeremy. He doesn't walk into roles. He crashes into them like he's trying to break a door nobody expects him to open. Even when he's exhausted, there's a seriousness in his eyes, like he's fighting a battle you can't see. It's why he fits Star Wars. Not because he's flashy, not because he's trying to be a blockbuster hero.
Please come back when that
Huge,
comes out.
man. I will. Yeah, I'm so happy to. Yeah, but yeah, man, getting that out, it was so much pressure. You're playing a real person, never mind, Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was really touched. The trailer came out.
Did everyone call you and text you and be like, dude?
I had more texts than one I blacked out and one that.
But because his characters always feel like they're right on the edge of greatness, of collapse, of transformation. Star Wars thrives on that energy. He carries that intensity like a scar, something earned, not gifted. When you watch him, you don't see an actor performing, you see a soul wrestling with fate like the universe owes him an answer. And then comes the plot twist no one expected. While doing all this intergalactic chaos, he's also starring in a film grounded in our world, the real-world tech accountability story connected to the social network legacy. This isn't space fantasy, it's newsroom strategy rooms, leaked data, ethical warfare, and modern power struggles. One week he's voicing a Hutt navigating galactic crime and survival. The next he's stepping into the shoes of a journalist digging into the truth behind tech empires and the algorithms shaping humanity. Talk about duality. Lightspeed jumps on one set, late-night investigative energy on the other. It's the kind of career whiplash only someone fearless could survive. Jumping between galaxies and boardrooms like they run both. 2 worlds, 2 battles, 1 actor refusing to pick the easy war. People love to talk about range in acting. Here's real range. Being convincing as a burnt-out chef, an anxious heir to a criminal slug empire, and a relentless reporter exposing tech giants within the same career arc. You could say he's the poster child for emotional whiplash. Jeremy probably calls it Tuesday. There's a moment during filming late night, studio lights dimming, performance capture dots itching on his face when a crew member jokes, "Chef to Hutt." That's gotta be the weirdest career jump ever, Jeremy laughs. Not the polite Hollywood laugh, the real one. The tired, grateful, slightly unhinged laugh of someone who knows life is absurd and beautiful and unpredictable. The kind of laugh that says, yeah man, who would have thought? Because this isn't just work for him, it's evolution. He's not chasing fame. He's chasing growth, surprise, challenge, and the kind of roles that genuinely terrify him.
There are these scenes in movies or jobs you get, and you kind of mark your calendar, and then you erase it because you don't want the build-up. And but kind of if you don't get that scene right, then it's possible that the movie won't work or the job won't work. And so I'd given a fair amount of thought. But what was important to me with that scene is just that there was some kind of release, and whatever the release was, was kind of out of my...
That's the part that makes this story motivational. Jeremy isn't the actor who found his one formula and milked it. He jumped lanes when no one asked him to. He leaned into discomfort when comfort arrived. He risked looking odd, sounding strange, inviting memes and confusion, all because staying safe never builds legends. The biggest careers don't just rise, they pivot. They shock. They scare you because you're stepping into territory you don't control. He woke up every time the world tried to box him in and asked, why stop here when there's a cliff to leap from? Because playing it safe makes you liked, sure, but taking risks makes you unforgettable. Star Wars didn't come to him because he was glamorous. It came because he was real. Hollywood needed someone raw, unpredictable, emotional, human in a franchise where characters shine when they aren't polishing perfect armor but revealing the cracks underneath. And fans, whether they laugh, question, or cheer, are already watching curious, excited, and slightly nervous to see what a Jeremy-powered Hutt looks and sounds like. Because deep down, audiences don't just want polish, they want truth wrapped in chaos. And Jeremy walks into iconic universes like he's daring them to evolve with him or get left behind. Eventually, the cameras stop, the suit comes off, and the studio goes quiet. Jeremy walks outside, Los Angeles night breeze cutting through hours of performance weight. He's tired, but there's a fire in his eyes. It's the look of an actor who knows he didn't play it safe. He didn't repeat himself. He didn't hide behind his last success. He stepped into a galaxy with confidence and into a real-world drama with conviction. He's not chasing one identity, he's building a career that refuses to be predicted. Some actors rise, some actors explode. Jeremy evolved, and evolution is always louder than hype. From kitchens to galaxies to boardrooms investigating tech power, the man's on a run only getting started. The story doesn't end with a lightsaber, it ends with a very real truth. Success isn't about choosing the right lane, it's about daring to race into lanes nobody expects you to enter. And somehow, Jeremy is driving all of them at once without crashing, with that same determined look that made the world believe Carmy, love Lip, and now brace themselves for Rotta. Love him or question him, one thing is certain, nobody's bored. He's rewriting what Hollywood expected from him, and we're all witnesses. The galaxy better be ready, because this time the underdog didn't just survive, he evolved into something unstoppable. If this story pulled you in, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned. The next chapter is already writing itself.